So we are here in Melbourne with Catherine and Thomas, and I'm showing you the best part. We are just cutting the cake.
I like that.
Ah, yes. So, as usual, we have a good time. We are here for business talks and for our seminar tomorrow. And so we'll first have a bite of the cake, and then I have a little talk with Catherine and Thomas. And you'll see here's their house and their pool. We just talked in Melbourne. The gallon of water is now $2. It's about the same price like gasoline. And here they have their electric solar panels on the roof because electricity is about as expensive. So, but more after this break, after the intermission, about our work with CoRe.
When we ordered the system, I was waiting anxiously for it to arrive, and as soon as it arrived, I had a dedicated room. I had everything ready, and we assembled it.
Like we were waiting for a child.
Oh yes, it's like waiting for a child, you know.
And we treated it like a child.
So we set it all up, and then I would Skype America and say, you know, I want to go on the training. So from the morning when I would get up, 9 o'clock in the morning, I would go into the room and I would start on the system and I would watch the online training. I knew it backwards. I would watch it. Tom would say, you know, come and have breakfast. Yes. He'd come in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and say, come and have lunch and breakfast. Come in. I studied the online training. I would call people in America, can I have some training? And I would pay them for the hours that I wanted, and I would get the training. I knew all the training. I knew everyone that trained. I knew everything on the training. And then I got the books and I started reading, and I got the Nina Silver frequency books, and then I started to work more and more with the CoRe. And the more I worked with it, the more I felt better. And what happened was, within 3 months, I had got rid of the helicobacter pylori that I had. I had that for 9 years. I got that in Egypt, and they gave me 3 different antibiotics to take that didn't kill it, and then again they gave me another 3 different ones that didn't do it. Then they gave me experimental drugs, and that just collapsed my immune system, and from that moment I became very ill. But 3 months on the CoRe every day killed the helicobacter pylori in your stomach, and that is a problem because this colonizes in your stomach and causes a serious disease. So I wanted to get rid of it, and then I found by healing the stomach, I had lumps here on my hands. My hands were like they were arthritic, and they told me it was arthritis. It wasn't. It killed all the parasites and bacteria. So my hands became normal again.
Also a cyst.
And I had a cyst. That's what I forgot to tell you. I had a client that had ovarian cysts, and she said to me, what do you think? I said, well, let's give it a try. Let's see how we go. So she came every day for a fortnight. She had 2 hours every day for 14 days. The plasma generator was here. She was sitting here with the electrodes. So we did everything with the CoRe every day. When we finished, after 10 days, I said to her, I had a cyst on my head, now I don't have it. I had the lights here. I said, your ovarian cyst, something must happen. Well, after the 14 days, she went to the doctors, and her cysts were 90% smaller. And my cyst off my head finished. I don't have it. I got Tom. I said, come and check. I had a cyst here.
Because I knew what it was, and I thought, this is
I couldn't understand it. I wasn't treating myself. So then I realised that when I put the plasma generator on, just by leaving it on in the lounge room when I have visitors or in the waiting room, I would program the system and have healing and regeneration and leave it there. And just by them being in the room with the plasma generator, they were experiencing healing. They were much calmer coming into the room.
See, this is interesting that, like, of course, cysts, and when there is really some tissue changes already, like in cancer, there's metastasis or things like this. It's a later form of a disease that has crystallized in the physical body, and maybe started many years ago on an informational level. But even then, sometimes it can go very, very quickly. Yes. And like, what's your experience from all the patients you've seen? What's the kind of the character of disease? Of course, it can cure anything. This not cure, we know, to say, you know, if something happens, it's a coincidence. Yes, we know this. If physical changes happen, if something goes better or even worse, it's a coincidence with treatment, and it's not caused by it because we ascribe to scientific understanding that informational methods, it's a pure placebo effect, and any energies used in the core system are of such a minute order that of course all conventional physics would agree that they cannot have any physiological effect. So much about when we say therapy or effects or benefits, it's a coincidence. But what do you think, what's the character, the most character of diseases that are helped coincidentally very quickly with CoRe?
Okay, coincidentally, people will come and see me because they have pain, and it can be from chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, from multiple sclerosis. It's pain. You know, we're allowed to treat pain. So you find that when the pain alleviates, the body started to heal. So I found that 100% of the patients that I've seen for pain, and it's over 100%, have had an alleviation from pain, whether it's chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, any other type of pain. So I've had, with everyone I've been working with now for 3.5 years, we've found an improvement. And I have a lot of people that, I've got video testimonies, written testimonies, and people, and they have improved.
But what I see now is comparing all the different other testimonials we got, it's really more coincidental positive effects are there with fibromyalgia, with allergies, with pains from an energy, lack of energy, with chronic fatigue, and multiple sclerosis. Apparently this seems to me that 4 areas, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, and allergies, that are specifically informational at its root. And that's also why conventional medicine is completely helpless in this respect. And then we see very often this coincidental improvement, and that's really I can see this with Catherine. She makes the second step, and then she takes her cell phone or takes her camera. I think you only use your cell phone. A telephone. Imagine she makes all these beautiful testimonials just with her cell phone, like what you see with the child from Sonia. It's just with her cell phone. So every practitioner of CoRe should do the same, and not just be happy, but spread the word and make the little effort to make a video, because this is not only for CoRe, it helps the whole philosophy of informational healing. And not only this, taking the testimonials will solidify the results for the patient himself, because information, especially when it's not only words, but when it's pictures, when it's videos, is solidifying information on the informational matrix. So you are doing a great help also to the patient. And this is something Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy, said always: when there was a good result with the remedies, have them write the results, have them make a report, because this is the way to really close the chapter. If you just keep it on like an informal level, it's not as strong. So maybe you have some other thoughts about.
No, I think it's fantastic, because what it does, I've had people that have written to me and said, "Oh, look, I saw your video about the girl with the MS, and I saw the changes in her from 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and 2 years. And you can see from the photos you take, and then you take another one and you say, look at the difference." I had a client recently, she's been coming for 2 months. I took her photo when she came, and I had it there. 2 months later, I took her photo again, and I put them both on one page. And you can see the difference even in her face. Like, she's feeling better, but you can see it in her face. And I've done this with a few clients, and they actually see the difference.
Visual changes.
I do feel better.
Transformation is significant.
Actually, this is in version 6. We have the possibility that you put a whole collection of client pictures. So each time the client comes, you make another picture, and it's all recorded with the date, so you can actually show the difference. And then we have another category of pictures that's called receptor now. That's basically where you took pictures of if there's any visual changes of their body, maybe like a wound or like a dislocation or some discoloration of the skin. You can make a picture where the problem actually is on a local level, and then we can also use this for therapy, and we can also use it later for showing the results, and this will make it much more easy also to document all the different results we have, and not only rely on some like conventional or like on some testimonials. So I have the chance to talk a little bit with Catherine here in Melbourne, and tomorrow Sunday we have the seminar. And actually 4 years ago we met for the first time at the seminar here in Melbourne, and that time Catherine was just recovering from some really serious disease that she had received or got 2 years earlier in Egypt. So just like me, she had really had this life-changing experience in Egypt and was basically almost completely disabled, and then took this time, and again it was Egypt. So something is about Egypt because it's the place of the celebration of death. I mean, there's no more mummies anywhere else in the world than in Egypt, and somehow it affected us, and it turned us into different beings. So what do you think after this? First you got basically better. Through what did you become better?
Okay. Originally I had the helicobacter pylori, and then with medication and mercury poisoning I ended up with Hashimoto's disease.
Speak a little louder.
With Hashimoto's disease, and then I was diagnosed with the CoRe. I tried a few different systems. I tried most of the systems that were on the market, and nothing pinpointed what was wrong. My hands were quite numb. I couldn't even hold a glass, and the CoRe picked what was actually happening in my body, and I went and had treatment on the CoRe, and then we purchased it, and I've never been better. I regained my health. I work 60 hours a week, which I couldn't even be up out of bed for 6 hours a week, 6 hours a day before. So now with the CoRe I've just regained my health, and I'm even better than what I was before. And
the main thing also, I think this whole event, I mean, of course CoRe helped you, but the whole event helped you to, I think, get a different approach to life, because you were treating people before and you were like a healer before, but what do you think, what's your difference with relationship now to your work?
Well, it's not allopathic now. It's not, oh, this will take this much time to heal because this is how it happens normally. The CoRe you heal depending on how you accept the healing from the CoRe. So there's no certain amount of treatments you have for a specific disease, but it's more, it's not allopathic anymore. It's much more spiritual, and the CoRe just takes its time, and you regain your health.
And how did your relationship to your husband change by your?
Oh, it was great. It was great.
No, because
all the instructions, you know, I follow all the.
Because you are now married 40 years.
36.
36 years, imagine, and but what I'm really interested in, like this kind of life-threatening, serious disease. That's my philosophy. Is not an accident. It's always coming when you're ready for it to transform it into something better. Yes, because all the pain, all the suffering, once you have the ability to transform it, then you get sick. If people don't get sick, it doesn't mean that they're healthy. Maybe they're just very unable to cope with the least. Yes,
it's a complete reset.
So this is reset. Yes, and like. Because now I see the main success with Catherine is that she has like never-ending energy, and also there's nobody putting in so much effort in training people, in making it popular, and of course a lot of return also in sales, but mostly also you have two things. You are a distributor for CoRe, but also you are a healer. So and everybody comes to you and wants this and that and that. How do you keep a balance to not lose yourself?
I have endless amount of energy. I use the CoRe on my clients that come for treatment, CoRe treatment, And when I have a break, I always put myself on the core, and I put the regeneration and healing, energy and vitality. I treat myself every day, and I can work. I can be up at 6 a.m. I can work till midnight. It's not a problem. I have endless amount of energy.
And that's I mean, you email, or I email her. That I should not email her all the time, but I email her when it's here middle of the night, and 5 minutes later I get a return. And I mean, for me, it's one thing to be active. There's a lot of people that are just pointlessly active, especially in the United States, where you basically think you have to be active, you have to run around, you have to have a schedule, you have to be productive somewhere. But with Catherine, I feel it's very much connected with an emotional attitude and care for other people. And this is, I think, this is for me the best combination with CoRe together. And we have now this week also another testimonials, and there's so many testimonials on the firm. But what you say is the summary? What you have to bring to CoRe that it makes people so successful, like how the way you are?
You need to be compassionate with the people that you're working with, whether they're your patients or your clients. But what we found was someone will ring up and say, oh, I have chronic fatigue and I really need to come and see you, and can you help me? And because I've had chronic fatigue and I've had a lot of the issues that people come to see me for, you can empathise with them and say, look, I understand how you feel, come and we'll see how you go, come and let's see how it works. And they understand that you actually care, because if you don't care and you're only looking at it as just a job, people can see through you. But if you actually care and you're passionate about helping people, the energy just spreads. You give out good energy, it comes back to you. And that's what you do all the time.
And like Thomas, what do you think, what's the secret of Catherine? Why she's so
having a good husband.
There's always, behind a good man there's a good woman. The secret is, when she was really sick, she was in such a state she had no ability to wake up in the morning. When he woke up, she had no idea what time it was, what day it was. So one slowly recovered and started really going through the CoRe, every morning, like ritual, every morning, and few other times, in the afternoon and night on the CoRe. This immediately gave a new ability to think and read and change everything about she couldn't do before for many years. And this belief system really is what transmit to the people that come in for help.
Yes, and actually what's very important, that you have really not to believe in CoRe, but you see this with many people, they have no belief in this, but it still works. But you have to have the ability to put energy into it by repeatedly seeing the people, by repeatedly making the effort to put new information, to repeatedly run an evaluation, to run a communication. You have to have this energy. You don't have to have the knowledge to know every button, but you have to put energy into it, and then CoRe is the transformer for your energy and the energy of the system itself, of course, into the information that's actually healing. So we'll make some more videos tomorrow at the seminar, and you will see some more testimonials.